Okay, can you hear me now? There's a button at the top that says to turn on the microphone. So please tell me if you can hear me now. Yes, okay. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm happy to be here with you today. It's a Saturday morning. It's like 9 a.m. here in Utah. I honestly don't expect very many people to show up to this live because I let everybody know that I would send the recording. So those of you that are live, thank you very much, because it is awkward just talking to like a camera for a while. So thank you so much. So Jane, Tanya, Andrea, Teresa, thank you very much. And I'm guessing we'll have some more sprinkle in. Yes, I see more people, more numbers popping up. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get started. I have a training in an hour, so I want to make this as compact as possible, but I also have a lot that I want to be able to share with you. So this is kind of an experiment. So let's just see what happens. So yeah, thanks for saying hello. Let me go ahead and turn the chat on to public. Okay. All right, so now I think you guys will be able to see each other. So if you have questions, yeah, you'll be able to see each other now, I think. We'll see. Okay, so welcome to this webinar. I decided to do this about a week ago. It's been on my mind for a while. I've been wanting to do something like this. So here we are. Here we are. I'm Teacher Lily. I'm Lily Gold in the real world. I am a magic master with magic ears, and I absolutely love it. I have been with magic ears since December. I think I got hired around the week of Christmas. So I really haven't been with magic ears a super long time. I have been online teaching with the other with VIP Kid. We don't have to be weird about it. It's okay. I taught with VIP Kid before then. So I did come into magic ears with experience. And honestly, I looked into magic ears out of curiosity. In fact, one of the big reasons why I looked into magic ears was because in the other company, I got sick one weekend and I had to cancel a few classes. And I don't go to the doctor when I get sick. I mean, most illnesses, you don't need to go to the doctor unless you're a hypochondriac, right? And I realized that maybe my job isn't secure in the other company because people get sick. And so I looked into magic ears solely out of curiosity, not knowing much about it. And by the end of the application process, I was so in love with this company that I was like, not only do I want to work for this company, but I want to work primarily for this company. And so from there going forward, Jody, hi, no problem. From here going forward, I've just been magic ears, loving it. So that is a little bit about me. I live in Utah, just north of Salt Lake City. With my 2 kids, my husband, my cat, and my dog. so that is me. Yes. Okay, so I told you why I created this webinar. Okay, well, actually, I haven't really. Okay, so I am a trainer at Magic Ears. I do a lot for the company, but one of the things I do is training. Oh, great, Andrea. She's just starting the process. So I get to see a lot of applicants. And I'm starting to see that a lot of applicants are coming through the process and they don't know how to teach the way Magic Ears expects us to teach. And it's not like, if you're an applicant, it's not really your fault. You don't know what Magic Ears is looking for. And, you know, I think the company is getting more and more. Like they are starting to add more and more. Like they're starting a new thing, I think, called Magic Ears Academy to like help instruct you. But I've just been like hungry to like have some type of training or something where I can say, let me like help prepare you. Let me give you some tips that will help you through the process. So if you are in the application process, you need to get paper, you need to get pencil, because I'm going to give you a lot of little tidbits today that you should write down and that you should use to help you successfully get through the application process. And great, Teresa. and to just get through everything better. And you will be a better teacher out of the gate. And then when you begin teaching, if you get through all of the different steps, then you might be even more comfortable. So let's just kind of jump into this. I have my notes, so I have to look at my notes on occasion. So, oh, Thelma, okay, great. So, Thelma, you're the type of person that I actually am creating this for too. Somebody that has experience, but wants to kind of figure out like what's this company about. You guys, this is so distracting. I just want to read your little messages all the time. So I'll just try to like glance over there every once in a while. Okay, so the first question, why did you choose Magic Ears? So maybe one of the reasons is you've seen our cool platform. We have a handy dandy platform. And I have to tell you, you guys, I did try to prepare for this. So I'm not techie. I don't know how to do like screen shares and show you things. And it gets super complicated because I'm not supposed to show you children's faces. So guess what I did? I went to the copy store and I made, here's an example. I made giant photocopies, you guys, so I can show you things. And I cover the kids' faces and I blotted out their names. And so I can legit show you this without getting in trouble. But Magic Ears has an awesome platform that is so much fun. So maybe that was one of the reasons why you got attracted to it. Maybe you saw like one of the videos of us doing our thing. We have a fun curriculum. We have videos and music, interactive games. They can draw. They can do so many different things. And that is so much fun. That was I think that's one of the big reasons a lot of people come over, because they're like, that looks fun. I'm over here, I'm bored to death. I'm dying a slow death, in the other company teaching, those really stagnant lessons. And like, we're over here having fun, partying with the kids. We are a young I shouldn't say we. Magic Ears is a young company. They've, I think they had their year anniversary just like a few months ago. And so they're very young. There's still not a lot of teachers. I think there's over 200 teachers. When I started in December in our parent group, I think there were 56 teachers. And so it's exciting to be part of like a new growing company where you get to like come in and you get to make yourself known and you get to like help shape the company. It is awesome. If you know what it's like to be just a number in other companies, then you will be like really happily surprised by, the experience that you have here. We also have that colorful, fun branding. We have, Bonnie. It's fun. It's cute. It's just fun. Our platform is colorful. Everything is colorful and fun. Jane, let's see. When you do the songs, I notice they have audio. So do you sing the songs? Okay, I'm actually going to talk about that. I have that on my notes. Okay, and you also have the potential for better pay. They start you out at a better rate than the other company automatically. Like everybody starts at a better rate. And if you have like different experience, like an education degree, so many years, then you can get paid more. If you should be in the Facebook group, it's called Magic Ears Q&A. If you're not, make sure you join that group because you can do searches and find out information. You can ask questions and they will give you more information regarding that because I won't be able to have the time to go into the nitty gritty. Yes, and the lessons that we teach in Magic Ears, they are totally provided by the company. You will log in. In fact, let me show you this right now. You'll actually log in when you go to teach. Okay, here's an example. So this is like if I had logged in to my platform and I can see like, okay, here's my class. I know you can't read it here. Here's my students and here's the button. I just click on the button and I go in and I teach the lesson that's there. And so it is really fun to just like you preview the lesson ahead of time and then you go in and you teach it. You don't come up with your own curriculum. I was about to like change the slides here. You can tell I'm used to doing that. Okay, so what do you need to teach magic ears? So I'm going to very briefly go through some specs, and that's it, just briefly, because it's super boring to go through specs, and I don't want, this isn't what this workshop is about, but for experience, you do, yeah, Thelma, you do need to buy your own props, that you're totally responsible to take care of that. Thrift stores are great, toys are great, household items that you have around your house are often all you need for props. You don't have to go buy a ton of props. You just kind of go through your house and see what you need for that lesson. Okay, so I took a quick little photo of what experience you need to teach for magic ears. So first of all, you must be native English speaking. That means you must have grown up as a child speaking English. So it is your native tongue. You can't come here as an adult, you know, having grown up speaking a different language in a different part of the world, and then come to the United States. That doesn't qualify you as a native English speaker. The Chinese people want native English speakers that have spoken it their whole life. And you must be from the USA or Canada. If you're American or Canadian, but you live in another part of the world right now, that's okay. But this is what the Chinese people want. It's a business. So it doesn't matter like what we think about it. Some people get upset that, you know, they don't hire British people right now. British English is very popular in much of the world, but it is a business and they're catering to what the parents, you know, demand in general. You must have an ESL certificate, which by the way, you can get on Groupon.com for like $20. It's TESOL, just do a search for TESOL. And 1 year experience in online teaching like this, or a bachelor's degree with 2 years experience. Now, if you are lacking ESL experience teaching online, you do have the option to submit a video in your application where you can show them your personality, tell them how excited you are, tell them that you know you can do this, that kind of thing. And there is a chance that you can overcome that. You do need to have some type of teaching experience of children. That is some legit teaching experience. So running a daycare doesn't count. You know, teaching cooking classes doesn't count. It needs to be some good teaching experience of kids, but there is some leeway there, you know, as far as ESL certificate. Well, that you can get super easy for $20, but be aware that you can submit an introductory video of yourself that you can show the company like, I could do this, you know, give me a chance, that type of thing. Make sure that you don't turn that introductory video into a resume. It's not an online resume. It's a chance for them to see your personality, because personality is so important here at Magic Ears. Somebody with a really great personality, but less education can beat out somebody with a master's degree, a huge degree in something, because at the end of the day, the degree doesn't matter. You know, these slides are learnable. It's, do you have the personality to like command a classroom and to, you know, exude or ooze this Magic Ears brand that we have. Okay, for internet equipment. Oh gosh, you guys, this kind of stuff bores me so bad. I hate tech stuff. I'm so not techie. Okay, your speed needs to be at least 1 Mbps. If you log into the Magic Ears website, they have a speed test at the top. You can check it and see how you're doing. You need a computer, a mouse, not a trackpad, and you need a headset. You don't have to have cat ears, but you need, you know, some type of headset with a microphone. No touch screens, no Chromebooks. Well, I just don't use your touch screen during class. It's annoying, trust me. You can tell that you're using it. You need to have fast internet. So just, I don't know what the texts are. Just make sure that you have fast internet, because this platform requires really good internet, and you need to be plugged into your Ethernet. So no Wi-Fi. I have a freaking long cord going through my house so that I have Ethernet. I tried to like beat that system, but I couldn't. I had to plug into the Ethernet. So be aware of that. Okay, the other thing you need is you need some classroom space. I'm lucky that I have a basement office that I could transform this little corner. So normally in a class, you don't see like all of this extra space. This is because this webinar like has a wide screen, sorry. But in my class, you kind of see like this much of me. So that's all you really need to create for your classroom. Now, some people don't have an extra office in their basement, and so they turn every morning, like they might have something that they roll in front of whatever's behind them. Maybe it's their living room, and they create a little classroom, you know, by decorating the back of it. You need to have something. You can't be sitting in front of bookshelves and doors and kitchens. You can't have your house behind you. This is the new standard of online teaching, that you must have like a little classroom experience for the kids. It didn't used to be that way, but this is the direction that online teaching is now. But you can be creative and you can figure things out. I know people that have done shower curtains in the back that are really colorful and fun, but they put them on a stand or something, so it's a nice smooth background. And anyways, you can figure that out. And you need to have good lighting. You need to have light illuminating your face. And I put lights, can you see lights behind me? So that my backdrop is illuminated also. You don't want it to look like it's 4 in the morning. You might be teaching very early in the morning, but it shouldn't look like that. They shouldn't be able to say, oh gosh, it's dark in her house. Look how dark it is. It should be well lit. And so you need to play around with your lights to make sure that you are well lit. You can, I recommend changing out all of your bulbs to daylight bulbs in the area that you will be teaching, and get a lamp or something coming towards you that's pointed towards you with daylight bulbs, so you have nice bright white light shining on you. And bad lighting will stop you in the application process. I promise you. I've seen it many times where the lighting is not good and they can't put you through to teach the children, because this is the well-lit, happy experience of Magic Ears. Okay. Oh, that was so boring, you guys. Sorry. I had to just, for people that needed that. Yeah, Teresa, it's starting, so I'm not sure what's going on with your computer. Okay. So I just want to clarify for you, because when you're brand new, this can be confusing. There is a Magic Ears website. We call that the portal. And then there is a teaching app. So the Magic Ears website is where you know, in your URL, you type in, you go to the Magic Ears page. That's where you apply, do all of that, and then you have a login. That is now your portal. That is where, I don't have a picture of that. That is where, once you're hired, you will have your bookings, you will have the feedback that you give to the parents and back to them. When you're in the application process, it's where all of your information for the application process will be. So that's the website that we call the portal. And then we have the teaching app that you must download to your computer. And there will be a link at the top of that website where you can just click on it and download it. And you will need that in the application process, because that is where you will have all of your trainings, all of your classes that you teach. So this, again, is an example of like when I'm in my teaching platform and I can go into my different classes. So you can see, sorry, I know it just doesn't come through very well, but that is where I access going into my classes. Okay, so teaching skills. Let's talk a little bit about this. So if you are new to Magic Ears, this is where I want you to take notes. And so you can like begin to process this and you know, whatever. Okay, I love this. Okay, write this down. Edutainer, not entertainer, edutainer. So edu-tainer. This I heard that Hope Williams from the other company, she used this term. And it is so perfect. When I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that is exactly what we are in Magic Ears. We are edutainers. So I want you to really understand, especially if you're coming into this new, that this is not the same as doing one-on-one tutoring with a child. If you imagine sitting next to a child in a classroom and you're doing one-on-one tutoring, what is your like energy like? It's going to be pretty subdued, like you're friendly, you're smiley, but it's a very subdued energy, right? In the other company, you can often get away, for sure, with a very subdued, more relaxed, more chill energy. So that one-on-one energy. Now, Magic Ears is totally different. It's totally different. And it's really important that you be prepared for that, mentally prepared. And make sure that it fits your personality, because Magic Ears is not for everybody. It's just not. Not everybody, wants to dance on camera while the song is playing. It's not for everybody. So you need to really do soul searching and figure out, like, is this for you? And also in the application process, not having that right energy will stop you in the application process. So I have an on-camera persona when I teach. I call my on-camera persona Snow White meets comedy club. So I try to be very funny. I try to have a lot of surprises, pop up with funny glasses, but I have this kind of like soft gentleness. And, oh, very good. Yes. I have to kind of like channel a little bit of Snow White. But let me tell you, the second the camera's off, I'm like, oh, okay, now I got to go do this. I got to go do this. I got to get back to my life. I got to get to my job. I'm back to like normal me. But when I'm on camera, I have a persona. I adjust it for different ages and different personalities. So that's really important too. That's just like a basic intuitive teaching skill that you need to have. The ability to, shape it a little bit depending on who you're working with. A serious boy does not want a little Snow White coming at him. So I'm going to go more back into a normal mode for him. But when I have those little ones, they love they kind of like need that sweet Snow White personality. So you have to be really good at changing it up based on the child's needs. And I know we are in a group of 4 kids. I know you're probably thinking, yeah, but you have 4 kids. Yes, Jody, they're not grouped by age per se. They're grouped by age or by level. So make a note, you guys, that you never ask the children their ages in a Magic Ears classroom, because they are different ages and it gets messy, for them to like, because half the time they don't even understand the question. But older kids don't want to know that they're with a kid 2 years younger than them. It's just, it's just the way kids are. So never ask them their ages. They should be grouped around the same level. It's not perfect, but they should be. Okay, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but it doesn't matter. So on-camera persona, you need to be able to turn on your camera and go into Magic Ears mode. And then as soon as you turn the camera off, you can totally like relax again. Okay, another note is, you're fine, Jody. No, you're fine. Be professional. Okay, I know that sounds really dumb to have to say that. The reason why I'm saying that is because there is a trend. I don't know if it's a trend. It just is the way it is. In online teaching, I see it all the time. There's this misunderstanding or just this idea that, oh, I can roll out of bed and go in front of my computer. Like, that's one of the perks of online teaching. I can just sleep in my shirt and go turn the computer on. Okay. No, no, there are a lot of people that do that, but I'm so not a fan of that. I think it's really unprofessional. This is a professional business. We are teaching children with parents sitting next to them during the whole class. We are representing a professional company. We should look professional. We should look the part. We should behave the part. I get up half an hour early every morning to get myself together. It would be way faster for me to roll out of bed and go pop myself in front of the computer. But I take very seriously the image that I put forward on behalf of the company and honestly on behalf of myself. And so And honestly, I think it's really served me well. I have become very successful in this company. And I think a small part of that is because I take the time to really put myself together and have this on-camera presence that is very professional and try to be polished a little bit. But that's what I show to the world. And it does help you on a professional level. You become a desired teacher. You become desired within the company. And trust me, you feel better about yourself. Look at me right now. I'm having to look at myself. When you teach, you have to look at yourself the whole class. Yes, Teresa. Yeah, I do my makeup. You guys, I have full makeup on right now. This is what I teach. I teach fully made up every day. And if I didn't, I would look like I was sick. I have like dark veins under my eyes that are like genetic. I have to put myself together. But even if I didn't have, those things that I have to conceal and all of that, I still believe wholeheartedly in make yourself professional. Get in front of that camera. Oh, the thing I forgot to say, or now I'm remembering, is that I treat my classroom, and you might want to write this down. I treat my classroom as if it is my own children's television show. This is my show, and I am the host. April, no, if you don't normally, okay, thank you. I'm really glad you asked that question, because no, if you normally don't wear makeup, no, I'm not saying you got to go put on a full face of makeup. Well, it's really important that whatever your highest level of professionalism is, that's what you exude. And so I'm so glad you asked that, because, and for men too, they don't even have to think about that. But yes, thank you for asking for that clarification. No, you don't need to just suddenly wear a full face of makeup. You decide for yourself what your highest level of professionalism is, and that's what you bring your standard to every single day. Thank you for asking that, because I don't want people to think that I'm all about you got to have a full face of makeup. For me, that is my highest level of professionalism, but everybody has to decide that for themselves. And teachers, don't get me wrong, teachers that don't wear makeup, they can still totally be successful. It's not that. It's just that I know what my highest level of professionalism is. And so that's what I've raised. That's my bar that I reach every day. And yes, Jody, the bright light washes you out. This right here, this webinar platform I'm using is doing pretty well not washing me out. But when I teach Magic Ears classes, it can really wash me out. So I do the bronzer. I wear, lip gloss just to give my face a pop. Because Magic Ears is a visual experience too. Online teaching is a visual experience. Okay. I am moving on. So, okay. And in that be professional, my friend Carly said it perfect one day when I was talking with her. She said, you should not look like you're ready for a midnight run to Walmart. So that can be the benchmark for just in general. If you're like, yeah, I look like it's midnight and I've got to run and, grab some cookie cutters at Walmart, or I had to do that one time. Then, that's a good gauge, but what your highest level is. Okay, Jane, I have a question about the recorded interview. So I guess we tell them about ourselves. Yeah, I would just do, so when you do the recorded interview, before you go into the demo, give a short little introduction about yourself. Don't go into a long, I live here, I do this and this and this. Just say, hello, I'm so excited, to be here with you today. I am so excited about this platform, and I'm excited to interview for you. That type of thing. My name is Lily Gold, and I live in Utah. Keep it really short and sweet. But yes, you can definitely introduce yourself briefly. Because let me tell you that, they have to watch so many videos. You don't want to frustrate them by making them sit through a lot of talking. You want to be super respectful of the fact that they have to sit through so much. So you want to get right to the point. But yes, it's good to introduce yourself. No, you don't need to wear red lipstick like in VIP Kit. Even in VIP Kit, it's not a requirement by any means. I did wear red lipstick in VIP Kit because my thing was my little thing that I would do is I'd wear a red shirt with red lipstick. And I don't do that anymore in either company. I have a couple regulars still in VIP Kit. No, so no, definitely not. You don't have to wear red lipstick. Okay, the next thing is teaching passion. This is a funny term. It's kind of a funny translation because that's not a word we use in English in that sense, teaching passion. But what it means is it's the joy. I guess I would say teaching passion. It's like a couple different things to me. It's exuding the joy of teaching, and it's having fun at the same time. I think when it comes to magic ears, I feel like that sums it up pretty good. It's having the joy of teaching that is just so obvious, you know, that you love it, and then having a lot of fun at the same time. And at Magic Ears, we have to have that. You're actually graded on it in your application process through the whole way. They are looking to see, do you have that teaching passion? Are you exuding that you are having a great time and that you're fun? Because you can be all of those things even while you're focusing on pronunciation and taking that very seriously and, you know, doing all of those things that you need to do. And one thing I wanted to say is my pet peeve as a trainer is robotic voices. There are so many times when so be really careful of this on I want to see if I touch on this. I forgot to put on the steps. So, okay, as soon as we'll take, okay. Okay, I'll say this now, and then I will touch on the different steps of the application process, like really briefly. Okay, so don't use a robotic voice. Talk to the kids in the class, even in your intro video, like they're just regular little people. I know that sounds silly, but you would be amazed at how many times I've seen videos of people talking like a robot, like they are, "Hi, class. My name is Teacher Lily. What is your name? Very nice to meet you." Oh my gosh, like that's annoying, right? Like no, like you would be insulted if somebody talked to you like that, right? You would be amazed how many people are sending in intro videos talking to the Chinese staff like they're children or robots, or it's kind of insulting. And I don't think people realize what they're doing when they do it. They think that somehow that overcomes language barriers. Like I'm not sure what that's about, but be really mindful that you don't become robotic when you speak, because it does cross into that line of insulting. Okay. I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to go on. I have to really watch my clock. And then I do want to cover the quick three, like the little steps of the application process. Okay, some things that you need to also, so write this down too, mindfulness of student level. So you want to be really mindfulness of student. No, they're not trying to speak like a robot, Nadia. It just can really come across like that. And the way I just demonstrated, that was very robotic. Hello, my name, you know, like it's like too choppy. You can say, hello, my name is Teacher Lily, and I am a teacher at Magic Ears. It's like a nuance. You got to kind of work on those little nuanced details. Like how do you take the separating the words, using TPR, but making it feel natural? It's something that has to be practiced a little bit, because like I said, it is a fine line from being able to speak it naturally to crossing over into that robotic mode. And trust me, I've seen a lot of videos. I know it really is. It is for real, like this whole robotic thing. So you got to kind of work on like pulling back from the robotics that are unintentional, and make your voice more natural, more fluid, and more smooth. Thelma, I don't think so, because Puerto Rico is considered part of the United States. So if you have a clear English accent that would be considered, typical of, USA, Canada, then you should be fine. If you have a thick accent that has like a real Spanish, Spanish speaking undertone, that could be an issue because they will be listening for how clear of an accent. Oh, Thelma, then yeah, you should be fine. Yeah, I think you're fine. Okay, so the rate of speech. You want to speak enunciating your words. You want to separate your words so that they can understand, what is coming out of your mouth. If I talk like this, class, can you circle this? Can you underline this? Can you read this? Can you read this? They're like, huh? What? I don't know what's going on. So it's, can you read this? Class, underline the sentence. Or I have, let's see, what would be one? The flag is red. So I'm trying very carefully in my mind always to separate each word so they can hear the sound. So be very careful not to run like a string of words together into, like when we speak fluid English, in our regular lives, we're talking just like this, but we know English really well. So we can follow each other. You know how when, like, my dad is from Mexico. He never taught me Spanish, but I grew up my whole life hearing people speaking Spanish. And it was just like one string of sounds all the time. I didn't know what was one word, what was two words. I had no way of knowing where those words really separated unless there was like, a change of tone in some of the words. But that's why in ESL, we give a really strong enunciation to the words. And so we naturally need to slow down a little bit and really make those sounds carefully. And you can see, even as I'm doing this, I'm not speaking in a robotic way. I'm just carefully enunciating my words. Break up long sentences as needed. Okay, so I have actually a picture here. So I blocked out the kids' faces so that I won't break any rules. But you can see, so I have a right hand. So this was some younger children I taught the other day. So you can see where I underlined, I have, and then I listen, I have a right hand. And I do it like that. So I knew that those kids, like, I have a right hand might be a little too much for them. I think we had some 5-year-olds in the group too. And so I knew that I needed to break down those sentences. And so be aware of that. As you're teaching maybe higher level kids, they can handle some of those longer sentences. But especially those lower level kids, you have to really pay attention, underline, part of the word, turn the sentence into fragments and have them repeat each fragment with you. And then at the end, repeat the whole sentence so that they can hear what it sounds like as a complete sentence. So that's a good teaching tip. And then also be careful. This came from a trainer who sees this a lot. Be careful not to ask really long, or don't give them really long sentences and then expect them to repeat it back to you. So let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example off. I have a right hand and it is on this side of my body. That is not in the lessons. But class, your turn. I have a right hand and it is on this side of my body. Like, make sure that you're always mindful to break everything up, that you are expecting them to repeat back to you. So have them repeat things back to you in fragments. And then also, I think what the trainer was also saying was, don't say, Lily, how are you? Are you doing good today? What is this? Like, that's too much for the child. Make sure that you're always putting things into kind of like bite-sized pieces, little bits, so that they can process the English that they know. It should be simple vocabulary at their level and in just little bite-sized pieces so that they can hopefully pick it up and be able to respond to you. Okay, speak to different levels and ability and personalities different. So when I teach in a class, if I have, my 4 students there, I will have sometimes a really quiet, shy child, and then I'll have a really outgoing, outspoken one. Okay, so this is, the challenges of teaching in a classroom is I have 2 totally different personalities. And so I will tend to do, when I do like one-on-one modes. Like, let's say, here's an example. You can see I'm teaching the letter X, and I have 4 kids there. So as I'm talking to each child, as I'm doing that, the really outgoing child, I'm like, Alan, X, woo. And I'm totally feeding into their energy, their high level energy. But then as soon as I go to that more shy child, let's say her name is Amy, I will say, Amy, X, good job, X. Yes, I will turn up a little more of my Snow White, and I'll bring my energy level down. So I go into rapport with the children. If they're super high energy, I'll play with them and have fun at that level. And then on the younger, or the shyer ones, I will tone that down and go more into rapport with their energy. So when I'm teaching the whole class, I will be generally more high energy, but then I will make sure and point out that child, like, say something to that child, Alan, good job. And I'll bring my voice down, or Amy, good job. So that she knows that I am also, teaching to her and what her needs are. So that I'm very mindful of Amy, even though I am, teaching kind of the magic ears, kind of excited way. Okay, another thing, facial expressions. You need to be really animated. I am not like this in real life. Wow, very good. Oh, wow. A lot of facial expressions. You shouldn't be chill in class. In normal life, a lot of the time, 80% of the day, we're just like, yeah, cool, chill, whatever. But in class, it's very animated. Your face should be alive with, whoa, so many things like that. So be aware of that. So animation and changing tones. Let's say we're doing the letter X. So there's the letter X. It would be big X. Good job. Little X. Yes. Big X. Oh, good job. Little X. Do you see like such a big difference between big and little? So make sure that you are like really like taking your voice from like one end to the other at different points in the lesson. They do grade you on that in the application process. So you really want to show that you can move your voice from different areas to the other, because again, we are edutainers. Part of how we keep the kids drawn in is through what we're presenting to them, through our voice, our facial expressions, all of that. Okay. Oh, TPR, total physical response. So if you're coming from another company, you totally know what I'm talking about. Total physical response, or TPR, it's kind of like the body language that we use to help them understand what we're saying. So like, I see you, or listen, those types of things. I will give you a recommendation, because I can't, teach it here. Like, it would take too long. So look up, and she's actually in a different company, and I don't care. She was the one that I feel like really helped me to understand TPR. Look up Nancy Taylor TPR. Can somebody type that in for me? Nancy Taylor TPR. If you do a search in YouTube for her, you will find some great videos. Make sure you type in TPR. She's a little bit over the top, but it doesn't matter. You're going to get the message. Thank you, Jody. And you will take away a lot. So if you're new to online teaching, or you feel like it's something that maybe you need to brush up on and maybe improve on, her videos are the best. They're what really helped me to like wrap my head around it and to begin to embody it and not feel weird about it anymore. Because when you're new to online teaching, you feel weird about all of these things because it's so foreign. Another thing that a trainer has asked me to remind you is do not use sign language. Sign language is not the same as TPR. Sometimes people that know sign language want to do the signs for different words, but the kids in China, they don't know American Sign Language. So to them, it's like meaningless. And so do not use sign language. Okay, we already talked about teaching passion, making corrections. It's good to know that you will need to always be listening to the kids try to catch those anytime that you can hear something that could be corrected. Pop yourself up into like this mode right here. It's that interactive mode. You can make a note. You'll learn about that more. It's that little button. That's how we go into that mode. And I'll pop myself up into the big screen. Yeah, her videos are amazing. And I will do a pronunciation correction for the whole class. So even though it might be like one of the students, you know, I'm not sure who it is, I'll do a pronunciation to the whole class and then let them all repeat it for me. The parents are paying, you know, for pronunciation correction so that they can learn the North American accent. And so you need to always be listening to catch any little opportunity you have to correct them. And then you do it in a fun way and you celebrate, you know, when they say it right. I'm like jumping up and down, like so proud of them. And that seems to work well. I keep wanting to change the slides. That doesn't work here. Okay, so really quick, I have a training in 15 minutes. Okay, so again, you might want to take notes. This is based off of me being a trainer in that final 1v1. So I want to give you some tips. Number one, note on the title page in Magic Ears, we do teach title, or we do title pages here. I know in the other company, we don't do those, but all you need to do is say, class, today we will talk about, and you'll underline the title as you say it and have them repeat it. It can be that simple. So you're just introducing, today we will talk about fruits and vegetables, if that was the title, and you're underlining as you go. So you'll have your red pen, you know, that you use on the platform, and you'll underline it as you go. Number two, in the videos, we have a lot of videos, and somebody mentioned this. Here's an example. This is an ABC video. I'm up here, the kids are down there. I push the video button at the top, and the video just starts playing, and it's super fun and easy. And I recommend not singing along to the video as it plays. Sometimes they're ABC songs and they're really fun to sing along to. If you want to sing along, lip sync it. Don't actually have words come out of your mouth, because if they don't sync up properly for the kids on that end. And then you get like this weird jumbled mix of like a voice singing out of sync with the video. So that's just a little tip that your trainers, as you go through the application process, I promise you will be so thrilled that you know to lip sync. And then as a regular teacher, you'll just be that much better too. And you don't need to teach the song. Don't feel like you need to teach the lyrics to any of the songs, okay? You can just say, oh, that was so fun. Oh, ABCs are fun. Just something to transition you over to the next page. Okay, number three, this is super easy. Not super easy. It's super, super important, but it is easy. Anytime you are reading something on a slide, especially if you want them to repeat after you. I know this seems obvious, but it's not when you're new to online teaching. You need to always underline exactly where you're at. You need to show the students where their eyes should be. And so that's your job, to underline as you're saying it to them so that they know exactly. Otherwise, they're like, I don't know what's going on. Where are you at? I'm lost. And then also you need to circle every red word and have them repeat it with you before you do the sentence. So if this was, let's say this sentence, I have a right hand. Let's pretend this was in red. That would mean that it was a key word. And so you would circle red first, or circle right. Right. Yeah, right. And then start at the beginning of the sentence, underline, I have a right hand. Those key words, it's important for us to give them a little, boost with that word, because that is one of the words they're supposed to learn in that lesson. So circle the red words first, and then underline the sentences as you teach it. And break up sentences as needed, of course. That always goes without saying. And then interactive mode. Let me find interactive mode. So this is an example of interactive mode where I've popped up all of the students. So you have the ability to go pop, 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 pop with your cursor, and you can throw everybody up here, and it just throws them all up into, I call it Brady Bunch mode. And you can do pronunciation corrections like that. You can have them repeat a sentence with you like that. But when you see, let me grab it. When you see this template, it's called a Let's Practice page, and it has something in the middle. That is something that they're supposed to practice with you. So you'll click on that interactive button. You'll learn this more in the process. And you will, so it'll just be you and one student. So you'll pop yourself up. You'll click that button. It'll pop you to the center. And then you'll just pick the first child and you'll drag them up. And then, Jane, you will repeat the vocabulary with them. Well, in this mode, you want to shoot for 3 times. Have them do it with you 3 times and make it fun. Go high with your voice, go low with your voice. You know, you can make it surprising. When you're circling the red keyword, you only really need to do it once because they're going to be repeating that word again in the sentence. So you don't need to like hash out that word again and again because they will be able to practice that a lot. And then one last little picture I have, and then I'll quickly go over the application process. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, you will see these screens a lot in Magic Ears lessons. These are, oh, I didn't cover over the child's face. Hang on. You'll see these a lot where you will actually get to drag up their screen. So you can pull their screen and move them around while you're teaching. And there will be these little slides, and sorry, focus. There will be these slides in the lesson where you can actually pull them up, and then they have words they get to say to each other like a little conversation. So again, underline exactly. Jane, can you read this? Thank you. Good job. Okay, Alan, your turn, and underline. Hello, you know, whatever it is. Just so my point is, even on those pages, make sure you're always underlining exactly where you want the child to read. And trust me, you will get through the application process so much smoother, and your trainers will be so happy because you already have some of these basic skills that a lot of people just don't have because they honestly don't know. And so it'll put you ahead of the game a little bit. Okay, really quick, I have like 4 minutes before I should really get logged off. So the application process, you'll first fill out your application online, and you will be able to submit the introductory video. Again, make that very short. It should not be an online resume. It should be just to show your personality and how excited you are about Magic Ears. Be very careful that when you create that video that you are speaking to adults. Sometimes I think there's misunderstanding, like, do I do this video as if I'm talking to a child? No, I recommend recording your video as if you were talking to adults, because what unintentionally happens is when you record it as if you're talking to a child, it can come across as insulting because these intellectual adults are watching your video, but it's like you're talking down to them, but you didn't mean to. And it can become, just trust me, it can become awkward. And so, you know, just like if I was talking to you, hi, I'm Teacher Lily. I'm so excited to, you know, learn about Magic Ears. I have this experience and I'm so excited about the platform. And, you know, something like that. It's just 2 adults talking to each other. You can imagine it that way. So if you get past the application, then you will get to go to your, they call it a 1v4. So it's you with 3 other teachers and a trainer. And they will go through, you'll watch a lot of videos. It's kind of like a general overview of the company and how we teach in general terms. You'll go through some of the functions, some of the policies, that type of thing. And then after that, everybody automatically makes it past the 1v4. And then you will go to the 1v1 training, which is where the type of trainer I am, where it's just you and just me. And you actually will demo the slides, and then I will give you feedback. And then you will be able to take that feedback and apply it to a second demo that you will have prepared. We'll give you, you'll have the lesson in your platform like 24 hours before. So you'll actually prepare that as if you were teaching a class. So you want to come with props. You want to try to be in a little classroom space. You want to have some good lighting on you. You want to demonstrate basically how you would teach in a classroom. So you want to really like bring it to that, because we do have an Excel sheet that we are tracking on that second demo. After you've had kind of your practice run and we've given you feedback, we are required to do some scoring. And so you really do want to do your like very best, like teaching, version, teaching, you. Because if you don't pass that, then they will tell you that you need some more time and that you need to come through this 1v1 again. But in most cases, hopefully you do fine and you've applied that feedback, and then you will be able to move on to the trial class where you get to teach actual children and you get to have so much fun. And that is your final step in the application process. So that's why, honestly, I created this video so that I can help you with all of my like craziness, help you be more ready. So when you come to that 1v1, where it's that last step before the trial class, you'll be that much more prepared and you'll be that much more comfortable with what you're doing, so that you don't have to like try to cram a bunch of information and teaching skills into your mind and then go into a trial class when you're still kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to like remember all of this. So I hope this was helpful for those of you that are new. If you took notes, there really should be helpful information in there. Okay, so I have to log off here to get into my training. I think I've covered everything. Is this training session recording? Yes, it will be automatically sent to you through your email. I have it set up so it will send the recording. You're welcome. I feel really like humble. Like, I don't know if this is just a mess, but I hope that there was some helpful, I know I'm a mess, but if there were helpful things, that you took notes, yeah, sometimes it's just good to be reminded of some of these basic skills. Okay, guys, I have to go so I don't get in trouble being late for my training. So you're welcome. Like I said, I hope it was helpful. You guys, thank you so much for coming on a Saturday. Like, I know that this is like precious time. So thank you. Thanks everybody for your thank yous. Thank you. Okay, I'm feeling better. You guys are nice to me. Okay, see you guys. Bye.